Ross from Retro Dream Beam. Been an eBay seller for 3 years now. Don't forget to like the video and subscribe to the channel. Changing up my intro. I'm about to go into what we're shipping out today on Thursday. I also do this with my fiance Netta. All right, we have a lot of items. eBay's just having a lot of motion with us right now, so I've been like listing and keeping on it. So the first thing right here, we're running short of time to pack it up to. 2 strategy guide books, a combo order, Birth of the Federation. I don't remember this particular, I think it's like a PC game. Oh, it's Star Trek. That's why I wasn't like big into Star Trek. That makes sense. I just saw that right now when I was pulling it. I was like, I don't remember this game. So they picked up this one. And Kelly Slater's Pro Surfer. Ever remembers Tony Hawk's I forget the name of it, the skateboard games. Geez, I can't believe I can't remember them right now. But yeah. All right, so this is the Surfer one. So that they have a lot of the like sports games and stuff like that, or like the skaters and Olympics and stuff. So yeah. Oh, Tony Hawk's Pro Skater. It says there's a demo, or supposed to be a demo in this one. This one didn't have the demo, but the pair of them sold for $20.89. All right, next up is going to be Mahjong right here. Playing cards, really cool Mahjong set. A lot of people like this game. I know a buddy that plays, I'll buy stuff from him occasionally. He plays competitive online. And then Anetta's also been playing like some mobile games of Mahjong just for like fun. So I know people like this type of game. There's a lot of different like strategy and ways to win it. That one sold for $12. You can play with like 3 people. You can play with 4 people. I don't know if there's other numbers, but yeah, there's a lot of people like it. It's kind of like it's like a chess adjacent type of strategy game. Moving along, we have some World War II micro armor. These are artillery bits and pieces right over here. These are going to be 6mm miniatures. Yeah, just like a lot. I don't know if these were complete, but I laid out all the pictures for them to see. I labeled it Triple B, so I knew which baggie to grab. This ended up selling for $14.99. People love the micro armor stuff. They like the military miniature games and that sort of realm. All right, next up is going to be a Choose Your Own Adventure book. If you've been watching us for a while, you know that we got like a bunch really cheap. We even did a video showcasing a lot of it. We kept a lot, or we still have some to go through, and we've been selling a bunch. So Town and Terror here, this one's like a hardcover. I don't know anything about this particular one. I don't know, was this made in the UK or something? A lot of those happen to be from like the UK, which is really interesting. So they're kind of more rare for United States eBay buyers. This one wasn't too fancy, $8.50, but we got a lot of them and for very cheap. All right, moving along, we have Siege Heart of Darkness. So this is going to be I kind of have a bag around it so you can't really see it too well. I think this is Legend of the Five Rings game. So Legend of the Five Rings is going to be, they have a bunch of board games, collectible card games, they have a living card game. It's just a bunch of different samurai factions competing over like the emperor. They usually have like an emperor, and then there's always like, you know, a little bit of Shadow Realm magic, and then there's like swords, and then, you know, there's all these different like clans, and they go to war and stuff. So this is gonna be like a kind of like a card game, but in the board game form. I don't think you can mix and match this with the regular Legend of the Five Rings like trading card game or collectible card game, but I'm not 100% sure on that. But someone bought this for $27. That was supposed to be like incomplete. I think the person was just too lazy to count it up, so it was like in an incomplete collection that I bought. All right, but I took the time to count them out. It took a little bit of time. It just depends on how much you value your time. I do value it, but it didn't take me too long to go through it. And then I learned more about the board games, the card games, and then the knowledge is the power with that to be able to go through it faster. And the more I do, the more I count, the more I'm like in this realm, the faster it gets. All right. Next up, sorry, I have to go through my notes. I lost track. Oh yeah, so I've been listing a bunch of these Fantastin miniatures. It's like a company that is in Spain. I think these are like vintage, so I don't think it's around anymore. They did a lot of 15mm miniatures. They did Napoleonics. I think I got a lot of Napoleonic miniatures. These are a bunch of British generals right here. It was just like a huge lot. I have a video coming out maybe this weekend, maybe next weekend, of me going through the box of stuff as I got these. I've been listing them just endlessly. My eyes have been like seeing the same thing over and over and over again. I think I did like 100, 150 listings of just Fantastic miniatures, but it's cool to get one sale from it right away. It's like, okay, cool. At least someone's keeping an eye out for it. Sold for $23.50. Today I'm going to list a little bit more of the miniatures, but I want to change it up and just list some other stuff just to make sure that my shop's not like constantly listing only the same thing for 3 days in a row. All right, next up is going to be Cranberry World, a visitor center. This is like a little brochure thing. We like selling the brochures, the hotel menus, restaurant menus, the travel brochures, all the cool ephemera. And I love that stuff. We haven't gotten any cheap recently. I would say the most recent was like the middle of last year when we got like the catalogs and magazines. We also like that kind of thing. The more unique ones, the vintage ones, people do pick them up. This sold for $6.30. I got like a whole bin for like 20 bucks randomly at a thrift store. I got lucky with that purchase. All right, moving along, we have a Bots War, which I don't know anything about this miniature game. I come across the miniatures at a decent rate right there. It says like Traders Galaxy on top. The problem with all of these that I get is they don't have like a name of like what character it is or something. So I just take close-up pictures of the actual image here. There's not too much like that information that I could find online. So yeah, this one ended up going for $13.50, but I know I have some other Bot War stuff. It just looks like a Transformers-esque robot mech battling game. All right, like a miniature game. Next up, super cool. I wish there was less out there because it would have sold for more. We have a Whitman right here, board game Phalanx right here. Really cool pieces in there. The person sent me a message. They're a collector. They're like, please make sure it doesn't get crunched while shipping because it's cardboard and it's old. I think this is either from the 50s, 60s, or 70s. So yeah, really cool old board game. $7.80. Unfortunately, only that's because a bunch of other people had it. Sometimes I get the 60s games and then there's not that many out there and then I get to pick the price. All right, moving along, we have GURPS Character Builder by Steve Jackson Games. It's like a little PC disc where I guess you can make some like characters for this particular game. GURPS, like the role-playing game. Not too sure about it. The issue with this one is the CD was like damaged. The box has like a lot of like wear and tear and stuff like that. So I listed it as is damage in the title. And then when someone bought it today, I did send them a message. I usually like to like double check. I don't want to be like I don't know what the word is, but I don't want to like assume someone didn't read something, but I'll have issues with my listings occasionally where like somehow the title doesn't get through, the description doesn't get through, and then the pictures don't get through of the damage. So I just let them know like, hey, heads up, I apologize. I don't want to be like antagonizing, I guess. I don't want to antagonize you about like, did you make sure that you saw that there's damages? It's as is, because we do have returns on, so someone could return this if they wanted, which is painful. There's no way to be like, no, I don't want to accept the return because they didn't read that it had damages, if that makes sense. They actually let me know that they were perfectly fine with it damaged. They are going to put it in their office as a conversation starter, and they said the more damage the better. So they wanted it to be in their little office cubicle or their desk or maybe their shelf. I'm not sure like how their office looks like, but they want people to notice this, and the damage is probably going to make it stand out more. This still only for a damaged item. This sold for $8.44. I just thought it was interesting what they're going to use it for. You never know what people are going to buy stuff for. All right, next up is going to be some Warhammer 40k incomplete Chaos Biker, like little sprues, bits and pieces on the sprues. I don't think there's like any bodies or anything, but you definitely I see the heads on there. I see the shoulder pads. I see the pants. I see like the bikes and the wheels. So it's probably just missing the chest, honestly, or the torso at that point. But yeah, these end up going for $14.99. These are my favorite things to grab at the auctions. I don't know, other people just don't want to deal with the bits and pieces. Yeah, I guess they don't want to. I'm fine with it, even with having less knowledge of Warhammer 40k. I am picking up like a little bit of knowledge selling all these sprues and pieces. All right, moving along, we have another game. This is what's this called? Battle Cards right here. It's Great Britain versus Germany. Really kind of interesting board game type of thing. I mean, it's all cards. I consider these things like board games. I know it is all cards, but there's no board. But like board games, like modern ones, are kind of weird. Where most modern board games don't even have a board anymore, which is just like a interesting concept. They're just games, right? But yeah, someone picked this up for $7.56. I like to pick out the ones that look like interesting. I know it's easy for people to take out a card game and just play cards. Something gets damaged, it's not a big deal. It's not like a big thing you have to set up. All right, next up is going to be Warhammer Eagle, like a 40k Eagle. Where was this? This one was, I have a lot of like little baggies of miniatures that sold. You can't really see it. But yeah, it's supposed to be like a Warhammer 40k Eagle. This has the base right here. There was a cavalry rider that must have been ripped off. So you can see like the paint that got stripped there. It's missing, I think it's two like arms or talons. The head's included, but it popped off, not in storage. Like as I listed it, it was before I even listed it, it was already popped off. So I just like, I'm not going to glue the miniatures and stuff. I'll let people do what they want with them. They might want the head as a bit in piece. But yeah, this ended up selling for $6. This one's, I think, is going international. So it's cool. Someone's going to get used to something that someone else could have thrown away. I mean, that was in like a trash pile, but yeah, $6 isn't crazy, but it was really easy to figure out what it was. All right, moving along, we have a German card game, board game, Knash. I don't know if I'm saying that right here. It looks like there's also some dice in it. I like to pick up any of the foreign board games. There's usually less people who want to deal with it on eBay, like selling them. And I do know there's a lot of people in like the US that will want to pick up foreign games. They collect all sorts of types of board games. It doesn't have to just be like the most popular ones. Also, we do global international shipping. So sometimes these actually go back to where they came from. Once in a while, this one is, I think, in the US. But yeah, that one sold for, where was it? I'm really losing my track today. Oh, I haven't had coffee yet. All right, $15 for that one, which is pretty good. All right, Warhammer, Age of Sigmar, Season of War, Firestorm. It's like a little starter box right here. It's an open box type of thing. Sorry, new open box, meaning it is new. So like everything in here is sealed. There's still all the stickers. All this is like good quality. Sorry, I just like randomly noticed like this is pretty good quality. Uh, they should make a board game. I guess Warhammer 40K has a bunch of board games. So yeah, there's the board, there's the rules. Everything's in here other than just someone opened up the, what is it called? Like the wrapper, plastic wrapper, the cellophane? Is that what it's called? Really losing track of everything today. Thanks for sticking with me, guys. $15.99. Moving along, we have Flames of War, which was also in a garbage pile. It was 3 painted Matilda tank like tops. So yeah, I was lucky to find these on reverse image search. They happened to, well, I found the full tanks and I made sure that these were the little Matilda ones. But yeah, Flames of War, someone's, I guess, is, it's really popular World War II miniature game. I don't get too much stuff because people do bid it up at auctions. People are aware of that being a good one. But yeah, just the 3 little tank turrets, not the full tank, $6.50. Just to give you an idea of like how popular it is. All right, moving along, we have Warhammer, sorry, not Warhammer, War Machine and Hordes, but this is the War Machine, the steampunk version by Privateer Press, their older game. This is going to be Winter Guard Infantry Squad with Rocketeers. So this was just kind of like a mix of different like characters. These are like the Russian faction type of thing. Not exactly, but yeah, it's a fictional game. But yeah, lots of Rocketeers, some gunmen. People like this game. I get this stuff at auction pretty regularly. People usually, not too many people bid me up. Once in a while, there'll be some people that like know the stuff, and I can't get it for cheap because I do want to get it for cheap because it is a game that's not around anymore. But I know people can still play it if you don't have like hundreds of dollars to play Warhammer, Age of Sigmar, 40K. You can spend like $100 and get a ton of War Machine and Privateer Press stuff if you keep an eye out for it. So this ended up selling for $29.99, which is pretty good, but it is a lot of figures. You can like separate these figures into different little groupings. Moving along, is this the last thing? This is the last thing. All right, Dark Was the Night. It was a DVD. Dark Was the Night Live right here, limited edition DVD. Don't know anything about this. This says a Red Hot production. I don't know if this is like a musical or like because it says it's live right there. So I don't know if it was like one of those things where someone recorded it, they put it on a DVD. I just thought it caught my attention because I was looking at DVDs and just like the cover was different. There is a little bit of wear here. It kind of looks like it's like mocking like an old school book. So even in my listing, when this sold, I was like, oh, book sold. But then when I actually like went in to grab it, I'm like, oh, it's a DVD. So it was with a bunch of other DVDs I listed that day. $7.49. Nothing fancy. All right, that's everything. Thank you for watching. Don't forget to like the video and subscribe to the channel. Have a good one.